It took me a whole 20 good minutes just to clear the air before I started doing this video. I took the trash out. I put the dishes up. I made sure that the lint filter was clean. I had this article up brought to us by Eurogamer.net, and this is something that Ryu sent to me earlier, and I don't know what to say about. Well, you know what? I know what to say about this. I'm glad I'm a Switch user because it makes it not worth getting. The more they do this kind of shit, the more I really, really do not want another console. The more I want to switch over. Well, I'm already switched over to PC, but it makes me want to get an upgrade. And still keep my PS4. Maybe I don't know. Like I said, makes me really, really, really just. California man steals $10,000 of Nintendo Switch games from libraries. Now faces more than a large late fee. Okay, where is it? 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 Update. Some of the stolen Switch games have now been recovered. Nintendo, you should have stopped that Switch. Shouldn't have made a Switch 2. Just stop at a Switch. You didn't need to make a sequel. The Marion County Sheriff's Office has confirmed to Eurogamer some of the Switch games stolen from U.S. libraries have already been recovered. Well, the investigation into the theft of Switch games is still ongoing, and the investigation division is still working to locate the stolen items. At least a handful have been recovered. As of right now, I am unable to provide you with an exact number of games that were recovered, but there were a few. A representative of the Marion County Sheriff's Office told Eurogamer. Original story continues. A man has been arrested after being accused of stealing approximately $10,000 worth of Nintendo Switch video games from U.S. libraries. The man in question is Jamari Obafumi. He's a goddamn idiot. Fuck, he's a goddamn motherfucking idiot. Who is said to have targeted multiple public libraries in Northern California. I'm glad I'm on the South. Northern California is a whole new breed of what the fuck. Here, we just got hobos and fairy pinkos. As spotted by GameSpot, the Marion County Sheriff's Office said on Facebook it had arrested 45-year-old Reed Obafumi earlier this month on June 17th. The office alleged Reed Obafumi was connected to a string at least 7 different burglaries of Marion County libraries. These incidents took place between April and June of this year, although specific libraries were not mentioned. According to the Facebook post, Reed Obafumi now faces 12 felony charges. These include multiple counts of burglary. See how mad I am? These include multiple counts of burglary, in addition to committing a felony while out on bail. The Marion County Sheriff's Office said before closing, "Our libraries are pillars of the communities and must be safeguarded for everyone to enjoy." You know what? Yes, I agree to that, but no, take the games out. Okay? Do not have any games whatsoever in the library. It's like, I know we lost video stores like years ago, but damn it. Damn it. No. Now it makes me want to check my library, which is close by where I am. Elsewhere in Switch news, the Switch 2 got off to a flying start on its debut this month, with Nintendo trumpeting the console as its fastest selling hardware ever. However, despite this report, third-party game sales for the console were mostly very low. But you know what? I'll tell you what my favorite generation was. It was the SNES. Fucking liars. Yeah. Some of my thoughts are as follows. This right here is the reason why I will never get a Switch or a PS3. It stands to reason why. Because in an old Tex Avery, as said in an old Tex Avery cartoon, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. That's what it is. It really is. I mean, it's like this. I'm not paying what, $500, $600 for a console. I'm going to repeat this one more time. I don't see myself paying out the ass for a $500 console. Maybe $600 because you had to add in the cost of online services by using the Switch. And, they're dealing with the opposite, which on one side you have Xbox Live, which I don't have anymore. PlayStation Network, which I do have, but I'm not online for it. Don't need to be. I can buy games, but I don't have to be online to play these games. I can play them at my own leisure. I can stream them. I can do Let's Plays off them. That's fine. That's great. That's awesome. And then there's Switch, which you have Nintendo Online. Nintendo has not been the same since the downfall which happened with the Wii. They're trying to get back up to where they were. If they stayed on the path of the greatest resistance, which is you had technically GameCube, you had NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Virtual Virtua Boy. Two different versions of the, well, I should also add the NES2, otherwise known as the top loader, because mind you, there were 3 different renditions of the NES. The starter, which had Rob and the Zapper light gun. the action set, which only had Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, and the Zapper Light Gun. The original had 2 controllers, the robotic operating buddy, and a bunch of gyros to help play Gyromite and Stack Up. I'm one of those few kids who tore that shit up. Really, I broke Rob in half. Nintendo also came out with the Power Glove, which I also tore in half. I have destructive tendencies, as you can tell. Anyway, aside from that, moving on, what did Nintendo also have? It had the Game Boy Advance, the DS, the 3DS, the 3DSi, the 3DS XL, the 64, not in that order. It also had the GameCube. It never came out of their downfall when the Wii came out, and then after that the Wii U, and now you got the Switch, and now the Switch 2. Yeah, guess what? I am glad I have crossed over to the other side of life. It's like me with anime and manga. Did I give up comic books? Yes. In a sense, I did give up how modern comic books are doing Marvel comics and DC comics. You know, I gave up on that. I kind of have a thing against well, I don't have a thing against indies, but you know, as long as they don't overdo it on the story or anything like that, that's great, that's wonderful, that's cool, hats off to you. But please do not, and I repeat, do not take me out of the story, keep me in the story. It's the reason why I read manga. It's the reason why I go for manga like every once or twice in a blue moon. Normally that will be around my birthday. To say around AX time. My birthday's in April, mind you. But that's the reason why I mostly play video games on the PC. This is the reason why I don't have a Switch 1 or 2. It is the way of life I've chosen for myself. Plus, it gives me a lot more freedom as a gamer to explore more than normally. Sad to say, when it comes to something like this, in Northern California, yeah, guess what? Congrats. Guess what? I'm not gonna deal with that kind of shit. Nope. Not worth it. Not worth it. Switch is not worth it. Not for me. Because all I'm remembering is the fond memory of the Neo Geo. And how many people remember the Neo Geo back in the day? How much did a Neo Geo, the console, cost? $300 to $400. The games cost a mighty pretty penny. We're talking $50 to $60. Whether it's the chunky cartridge or the CD. Because they took a book out of TurboGrafx, aka PC Engine, and did the same thing, except that TurboGrafx operated on a card and not a cartridge. A card and CD. Aside from that, that is what we have learned today. It's not worth it. This is what we've learned today. Getting something new now just isn't worth the hassle of saying, hey, I want to keep up with the Joneses. You want to keep up with the Joneses proper? Get a PC. Now, I know not everybody is going to listen to the sound of my voice because, hey, I'm not a big enough influencer to do that. But I can tell you that the way that Nintendo is going, they have low sales, and whatever they got going on besides Mario and Pokemon, it's just not enough. Even with Zelda, it's just not enough. And, you know, whatever they have, their flagships are sinking. That's right, Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Pokemon. God, I'm so glad that Kid Icarus is not on that list. The last Kid Icarus game that was ever mentioned was Uprising. And I have it, and one day I will really want to do a LP of it. That and Star Tropics 1 and 2. Because I had 1 and 2. So that's the point. You care much about your video games, use your brain. Don't get a Switch. And if you do, hide that shit. I mean it. Hide that shit. People these days have gone crazy. They will steal shit. They will kill for your shit. And they will not bat an eye for you. They will not give you mercy because these are cockroaches. Cucarachas. And what does it say about its power level? I mean, what is cucaracha in Japanese? Or cockroach? We're gonna find out right now. In Japanese. Gokiburi. Gokiburi. That's the pronunciation of cockroach. Gokiburi. Yeah, that's what people are these days. They are less than human. They are gokiburi, cucaracha, cockroaches. Especially when it comes to something like this. And I kind of get why they're doing it because of what's happening with what's going on on a political scale and what we're seeing. And, you know, all I can say is be careful when you go out there. I mean, there's some games that are not worth getting. They're not worth your life to get. Hell, even the console itself is proving to be more hazardous to your health than anything else. And as a gamer, I treat my life more of a priority than, say, some game console that I'm probably going to keep around for, say, a good 5, maybe 10 years if I take good care of it. Just like I've always done with my consoles. And then once it stops or I lose interest in it, I'm going to take it down to World 8, see how much you can get for it, and Bob's your uncle. Yeah. I think that's all I needed to say, folks. So with that said and done, be careful out there. They're totally nuts.